Hey y'all, what's good? And welcome back to yet again another game review. Today we're going to be reviewing a game called Midnight Fight Express. Now, for those of you who don't know, let me just give you a quick description of the game. It's basically a top-down shoebox version of Sifu and My Friend Pedro. It's basically like a combination of both of those games. It's like you know what I mean, a street alley brawler fighting type of game where you go through different levels, explore the cutscenes and the story, and you beat up a bunch of bad guys. It's definitely not a conventional fighting game, but it's just basically a violent fighting game, you know what I'm saying, where you use different weapons and different environmental hazards to your advantage and stuff like that, and you just beat up everyone that's in your way, and you get to the end of the level, and that's basically it, you know what I'm saying. But there's different characters involved, like Babyface or whatever, you know what I mean. There's a bit of lore to the game, you know what I'm saying. Apparently, you're this ex-convict who is being interrogated, and you're literally fighting through the story that you're telling the interrogators, you know what I'm saying, like, and you're working with this talking drone and stuff. It's very similar to My Friend Pedro, you know what I mean, like with the talking floating banana and stuff like that. But anyway, let me get into describing the gameplay. So it's honestly fun, you know what I mean. It's like fun, definitely very fast paced and high impact, you know what I mean. Very bloody, very violent, you know what I mean. Guns, swords, bats, plungers. You can pretty much use anything to fight your way through the hordes of enemies that you have to get through in order to beat the game, you know what I'm saying. And there's a lot of environmental hazards like poison, helicopters that are chasing you, aiming a red beam gun at you, you know what I mean? So you got to keep on moving, you know what I mean, in that one level. Very engaging, very immersive. Depending on what difficulty you have on, it can be very fun, very enjoyable, very chill, or just borderline frustrating and very, I want to throw my controller inducing type of rage, you know what I mean? Very good level design and stuff, very unique enemy design and all that. You can customize your custom character. You can customize the custom playground that you want to play on and practice your moves and whatnot. It's basically like, you know, Sifu at home, if you want to describe it like that. You know, it wouldn't be too far off the mark. So overall, what would I rate this game? I would rate this game about a good 7 out of 10. You know what I mean? It was definitely enjoyable when I was like first getting into it, but later on it just sort of kind of became a little bit boring, and the combat cycle eventually became a little too tedious and a little too tough for me, you know what I mean. I did have it on hard mode, you know what I mean, because like I tried to challenge myself and stuff. I guess that's just one thing with putting the difficulty on high. It can eventually become less challenging and brutal and just more like tedious, boring, and unpleasant, you know what I mean, and just constantly dying to tough enemies, you know what I mean. And I'm not gonna lie, some of their moves can be a little bit difficult to read, and the iframes can be a little bit off, you know what I mean, and sometimes you can get stuck punching at one direction, and then, like, you know, enemies that are about to hit you, you can't dodge quick enough, you know what I mean. You have to be very on point with your inputs if you want to get through the game in like one of the higher difficulties, you know what I'm saying. What I recommend y'all download this game. Yeah, if you're looking for a game that has like a lot of different levels and a lot of different enemies and different abilities that you can unlock, and you know, different ways that you can fight through all the enemies, and if you're also looking for a game that has a little bit of a story to it, then this is the game for you, you know what I mean. Just watch out for the tediousness and try to be on point with your controls and inputs, you know what I mean. Try to get the timing down, try to master the combat flow, you know what I mean. There's a little bit of a learning curve, but it's not too difficult. It's definitely the type of game that'll keep you engaged and focused and awake and on your toes in order to really like get through it, you know what I mean. Or, you know, there's always the option to like keep it on easy mode. Honestly, there's no judgment there. Keep it on easy mode, hard mode, just play on whatever difficulty fits your play style, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, I think that'll wrap up today's game review. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you did, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, tell me in the comments below what other games you think I should review in the future, and until then, I'll see y'all in the next video, and peace out. Also, one final note that I forgot to add in earlier, the soundtrack to this game is absolutely fire. I highly recommend that you guys like download it, add it to your playlist wherever it's at. I don't really know like what music platforms it's streaming on, but whether it's on Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, Amazon Music, you know, whichever one y'all use, please listen to the soundtrack, you know what I mean. And just for the soundtrack, I think I'm going to add a point back, you know, forget what I said about it being a 7 out of 10. It's now an 8 out of 10 because I just remember the soundtrack. It's absolutely fire. If y'all download the game and play it, you'll know what I'm talking about, okay? Anyway, that's my final note. I'll see y'all later.